Does it blow anyone away besides me how many sleazy motorcycle salesmen there are? It's coming up. Fast Lane. Hey guys, welcome to Fast Lane. Yes, on today's episode, we're going to be talking about sleazy motorcycle sales staff. I guess I should call them. I don't know. I'm going to call them salesmen for lack of a better word. But this is like an epidemic. I don't know if you've noticed this or you've been to a lot of dealers and you kind of notice how sleazy they are. Seems like a lot of these people are interested in nothing but selling you a bike, selling you a more expensive bike, probably than you actually went in there to buy, and then adding a bunch of extra crap into the final documents and figures and hoping to slip that stuff by, hoping that you'll pay the price. But before we get into all that, I need you to do something for me. I need you to like the video if you like these kind of things, and subscribe to the channel if you would. It really helps me out and helps these videos go all around the world. So if you've been watching the channel for any length of time at all, you will know my biggest video. It is why I bought an Indian instead of a Harley Davidson. I think we're pushing like 160 some thousand views so far. Thanks for that, by the way. But in that video, you got to get a walk down the journey of what made me buy an Indian instead of a Harley Davidson. Because I can tell you this, man, I was heading towards a Harley Davidson motorcycle. And, you know, really some of the sales staff at a Harley dealership kind of turned me off to the bike, you know. Because honestly, there's some things within, I guess it's within the motorcycle culture, but it definitely lives inside the Harley cultures to some degree. And some of those things are things like, because I wanted a Sportster, okay? I was going for a Sportster, and you know, you have certain things like Sportster's a girl's bike. You're too big for that bike, bro. And a lot of other things, and then they point you to some really way more expensive bike. Well, if you want to watch the whole story, watch this video right here. So needless to say, I ended up with a Indian Scout Bobber, and I'm incredibly happy with it. I love this bike. I've had it for about 3 years, and it's absolutely sweet. It's got the Thunder Black smoke. It's the matte black. You probably can't see it very well there. But yeah, it's a fantastic bike, 1200 cc's, blah, 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 rides like a dream, and I couldn't be happier. And along with the Indian Scout, I actually had a little Honda Rebel 300, a 2017 Rebel 300, and that was kind of my commuter bike. I rode that a lot on rainy days I didn't want to bring the bobber out and get it dirty. But I gave that bike away a couple months ago, and I've been on the hunt, as you would know if you've been watching, for a second bike, a little commuter bike. And honestly, I thought I had found one. So I got my phone out and I'm searching around and I'm looking for some bikes. And I was kind of like, hey, maybe I should just get like something tiny. Like maybe I just get a Honda Grom, you know, to ride in the rain and ride to work, super cheap on gas. Well, I end up coming across this KTM Duke 200. Cool little bike, kind of underpowered, but comes standard with anti-lock brakes and looked like a heck of a lot of fun. And I was like, that would be a perfect little commuter bike for me. And the price, guess what? They're normally like $4,099. They're not very expensive. But this sucker, guess what the price tag says? $26.99. So I was like, holy smokes, they've only got like 3 of these. I better get on it. So I'm typing emails. I'm on the phone. I'm starting to talk to people about this bike. And so I get a basic quote. I'm like, hey man, what's the out the door price? Because I know sometimes there's like freight and there's dealer fees and some different stuff. And I'm not opposed to all that necessarily. You know, I kind of see that it kind of comes with the territory sometimes, so it really doesn't bother me that much. So I'm kind of expecting those fees. And I'm expecting, you know, license, title, registration, kind of the normal stuff. So I asked the guy, saying, hey man, what's kind of the out the door price on this bike? And the gentleman proceeds to tell me, you know, we're going to be probably around the $3,500 range or something when it's all said and done. I'm like, okay, yeah, about $300 for the, you know, license, title, registration, dealer fees of about $500 or something. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm okay with that. So I go ahead and call the credit union. I'm getting the ball rolling, and I think I'm going to buy this bike. Well, I woke up on Friday morning, and I was like, literally, I was like, you know what? I don't think I want this bike. I had kind of a sickening feeling, you know, when you get that feeling in your gut and you're like, don't do this, you know? And I mean, I had things pretty much set up and ready to roll at this point. And I get this sickening feeling and I'm like, yeah, I'm not buying this bike. So lo and behold, I open up my email and there's an email from the dealership and the bike the paperwork they send me, and this is kind of like the bill of sale or whatever it's going to look like, it doesn't say $3,500, it says like $4,200 or something like this. And I'm like, whoa, hold on. So I start looking down the list, and I'm looking and I'm noticing things. There's like cat tax. And I'm like, what the heck is a cat tax? I've never heard of a cat tax. And there's like a privilege tax. And I'm like, I've never heard of this thing. And then there's a $35 filing fee for all these taxes. And then there's a $300 registration fee. And I was like, oh, that must be the license, title, registration. Look below. Down below, here's the license, title, registration fee for like $287 or whatever it was. And then I'm like, well, what else is on here? There's a $500 like 3-year warranty and service agreement. And I'm like, hold on, who asked for this? I didn't ask for this. Anyways, it was the biggest cluster I've ever seen, and obviously I just decided to cancel the bike. So I call the credit union, I make sure nothing's rolling forward, and we're done, wash my hands, send the guy an email, and I'm like, dude, this is like way more than you said this bike was gonna be. And he pretty much just sent me like, okay, whatever, man, yeah, good luck on finding a bike. And I was like, seriously, dude? Here's the deal, and I'm not going to mention the name of the business. I don't do that kind of stuff, as you would know. If you want to know, contact me. I'll let you know. Talk to me in the comments below. But here's the deal. This wasn't the only bike I was interested at their dealership. Matter of fact, the only reason I was really interested in this particular bike, because it wasn't exactly what I wanted. I was just kind of like, oh yeah, that'll work, and then I could probably resell it down the road or something. So had they actually given me a fair price and not tried to sneak things in there, and I'll break that down a little bit for you in a minute, I would have probably been willing to been interested in other bikes, and I was going to come on up, but not now, dude. No, not only did you lose a sale, but you lost a customer. I'm never buying a bike from these guys. Would you buy a bike from them? I sure as heck wouldn't. Now, with that being said, I get it. They sent out the paperwork and they added in this service fee. Here's the other thing, dude. It had a 3-year warranty. The bike's already got a 2-year. And when you're spending like $2,600 for a bike, I'm not really that worried about the warranty, to tell you the truth. 2 years was fine with me. And the other thing is, a service contract I can't use because I was simply going to buy the bike from them. I would get all the service done here in town. So let's break this down a little bit. So we've got, I think it was called a privilege tax, a cat tax. Anyhow, one of these taxes basically means your business brings in more than $1 million a year in sales, and you get taxed at some kind of a rate. You get this tax for it. Well, guess what? That can be passed down to the consumer if you want them to. And the other tax is sort of similar. It's something else, and they could basically pass it down to you. And I'm like thinking, why on earth, why in God's green earth should I be paying the taxes of a business that's making $1 million and some dollars in sale? I'm not making $1 million. So I just found that really, really sleazy, and they weren't forthcoming with it. The guy didn't tell me about any of it earlier. He just kind of gave me a roundabout. And then there's a $35 filing fee and a $300 registration fee for this stuff. Come on, dude. This was obviously really sleazy stuff, and they were just hoping that I either was desperate to get a bike or wanted it so bad or something that I would just accept anything. But no, man. I wasn't even that interested. The bike was literally just going to be a commuter for me. So I guess long story short, it's just really, really sad that some of these salespeople, and now listen, if you're a salesperson, I'm not knocking you in any way, shape, or form. I hope you're an awesome salesperson. I hope you do a great job with what you do, and you probably do. Honestly, there's some really great ones, and I've worked with some fantastic ones who have been super honest, upfront, all of it. For me, I just want it honest. Don't tell me one thing and then try to slide a bunch of stuff in on the other end and hope I'll miss it, or hope I'll just, oh yeah, sounds good to me. I really need the bike, so I'm going to sign off on it, dude. No, just don't do that stuff. It's sleazy, and it's just I mean, basically what they're doing is they're just trying to steal money from people. They put the bike on this amazing sale, and then they were going to make all the money back pretty much on the bike by sticking all this extra crap on there. Anyways, it's just super unfortunate. And, it really left a bad taste in my mouth. And like I said, I'll obviously never be going back to that dealer. They've lost not only my business on that purchase, but on any further purchases. And anybody I talk to, that wants to know about it, I'm going to tell them like, oh yeah, I've got a lot of friends who ride motorcycles, all kinds of bikes. And if they're looking at a bike and I'm like, oh, where are you getting that? And they're like, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to be like, no, dude, don't buy a bike from there. So the sad part is it just kind of makes you feel and wonder like, is anybody honest anymore? Man, can anybody just be upfront and honest and just give you a decent deal and just lay it out for you? Or is this just kind of the day and age we're living in? I mean, it seems like we're just kind of in an age where the customer doesn't really matter. It's all about the mighty dollar and making that sale. So if you are a motorcycle dealership and you're watching this video right now and you're like, that's not us, would you comment below and let people know that and let us know? Because I know, sometimes dealers get bad raps for different reasons, and sometimes people are just a-holes, and they just don't like the deal or something they got. But when it comes down to the dealer being dishonest, that's legit, man. So if you're a dealer and you're like, hey, we will make you an honest deal, no games, we'll be upfront about everything, comment below. Let me know the name of your dealership. I'd love to have everybody that looks at this video know about it. So I guess the moral of the story is the hunt goes on for motorcycles, and I was actually back up in Portland this weekend, back at Sabatino Moto, looking at Royal Enfields again, because I got to tell you about these guys. They are absolutely phenomenal people. They have the nicest sales staff. It's just got a really organic feel to their business, and it's pretty cool. If you are looking for a classic bike, a scooter, or a Royal Enfield, definitely check out Sabatino Moto. It's I think it's on Lombard Street in Portland, but sort of heading out of Portland a little bit towards the west. I think the area there is called St. John's. Sabatino Moto, I'll put the address up here for you. If you are an honest, upfront, and super great motorcycle dealership, I applaud you, and I want to say thank you for that. If you're not, don't expect to get my business. It's Fastlane.